Here we are at Baltimore Comic-Con. We are walking the floor right now. We're talking right now with Ted Sikora of Hero Tomorrow Comics, creator of the Tap Dance Killer, Punchline and the Vaudeville Villains. Oh, am I getting them right? I feel
the Vaudevillains.
The Vaudevillains. Sorry, the Vaudevillains. The Vaudevillains.
Yeah.
Apama, also one of your creations.
And Bloom.
And Bloom.
Yes, sir.
And these are wild, kind of scary, gritty comics, but they also live in kind of the world of, like you said, vaudeville, circus, clowns.
Cleveland.
Cleveland, okay. All right, so tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, so our whole thing started actually with a feature film, and it's a dark comedy about a guy who has an idea for a superhero, but he can't get it published. And his idea was based on the premise that so many superheroes are creature-themed, but all the good creatures had been taken. Spiders, bats, wolverines. So he makes up an animal that is so powerful and stealth it was never discovered by mankind, calls it the Apama, and that's what he's trying to sell to publishers. But, you know, they don't want a book about an animal that doesn't exist. So his girlfriend makes him a costume of his own character for Halloween, and he starts running around in it trying to fight crime. The movie debuted in San Diego at Comic-Con.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. And a lot of people who saw the film said, you know, there's nothing like his book that he's trying to make in actual comics. So we decided to make that book, which became, and we really just did it as like a digital PDF on our movie's website.
To promote the movie.
100%.
And then it got a life of its own?
Some of the reviews up there, yeah. And we realized how much we loved making comics compared to making a film, you know, and we just kept...
We've made films, so we understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, we just kept going. So, and what we found is with Apama, it's kind of like the Bronze Age, you know, we gave it that old feel, but as if they kind of evolved in a different way. So it's a modern tale told in sort of a Bronze Age style, and we're not really spoofing anything, like we play it very straight, but we give you an experience you can't get from Marvel or DC. When it starts, there are no superheroes. You get a blank slate, you see the origin of the first one, then the origin of the first villain, and it just grows before your eyes, so you are on board from the ground. And that's how it all spun out of Apama.
Oh, wow, that's what. Now tell us about Tap Dance Killer, because you got a whole hardcover trade paperback for that one.
Right on. So in Apama, let me grab it here. Issue 10 and 11, we debuted Nikki St. Clair. So she's this mega talented actor who gets cast in a horror show musical. A supernatural event locks her mentally in the role of that character, and she starts wiping out the mafia. So it's kind of Punisher meets Rocky Horror vibe around her.
I would love to see the musical feature film of that.
Well, and there was a musical I wrote years ago, because if that banner says 30 years in the making, so it goes back beyond to like 1994. Tap Dance Killer exists as a song, so we brought those characters from the old musical to life in the comic. All that is to say, images of her were being liked and shared by the thousands when we debuted her. We gave her her own series. This became our all-time bestseller, and it is in this issue, or this 5-issue set, that we debuted Punchline, the guy back there, heavyweight boxer who becomes this super-powered murderous clown assassin.
This is going to be my wife's favorite one. She's terrified of clowns. Okay,
Nice.
So where are all the places people can get these?
HeroTomorrow.com is our website. We sell them. We are in stores, you know, but you know the shops order very light on indies like ours.
Do you also do the digital platforms, or you're on any of the Kindles or the Comixologies or anything?
We used to be on Comixology, but then when Amazon took it over,
this is a familiar story we're hearing,
we got
which is
kind
a
of
bummer.
Pushed out or something, and then they offered us back in for a much worse rate, and we're like, I don't know. So we haven't put it back on there yet. But Hero Tomorrow Comics, I'll sign it, ship it. Yeah. And we do Kickstarters for every new issue.
Well, that's really great. Ted Sikora, it is a pleasure to be with you and a pleasure to hear about all the amazing stuff that Hero Tomorrow is doing. Thanks for doing the show.
Oh, thanks for having me on, Shai.